How's it going, Star Seekers? Welcome back to the channel, where today we're going to be checking out a brand new game from the creators of the legendary Guitar Hero and Rockband games. But instead of strumming or finger plucking your way to victory, Fuser sees you mixing together hundreds of songs from world-renowned artists across a whole host of genres, from old classics to modern bangers. And the best part is, you don't even have to be musically talented or know any of the songs. That is, so long as you're happy creating the odd abomination such as this. So let's get on into this review and check out what's in the mix. So there are a bunch of different modes available for you to play in Fuser, and from the looks of things there's going to be some heavy focus on the community in this game. But before we get onto that, I'd highly advise you play through at least the first couple of sets in campaign mode. In essence, the campaign mode acts like an extended tutorial as it introduces you to the game's mechanics one by one, which trust me is a good thing, as Fuser has some incredible depth to its game mechanics. To kick things off though, you get to create your very own character. There's some decent customization in the character creation tool, including different hairstyles, skin tones and body shapes, as well as a ton of different cosmetic items to choose from, with more unlocked as you progress through the game. Me being me though, I wanted to create a character that would really stand out, so I created this absolute creature of a human being, who I decided to call Papa Pinkbeard, gave him a sassy personality and topped it all off with some disco fever dancing. Now the game's story begins with you meeting Danny Humbles, a guy looking to get you started in the party scene. From there you progress through the campaign, meeting different DJs as you go, each with their own musical style. Now the story is nothing special, it's pretty generic and the characters you meet are all pretty cliche, but they serve a purpose as each of them introduce you to new gameplay mechanics. You begin with the basics though, a tutorial level which teaches you how to drop your first beat and make your first mix. Across the top of the screen you have your list of available tracks, and the most basic level mixes consist of 4 song elements, those being drums, bass, rhythm and vocals, and you're able to mix and match any of those 4 from your available tracks. Now each of these elements is bound to a different face button, and adding them into your mix is as simple as moving your cursor over the track and pressing the relative face button. But it is important to swap out mix elements at the right time. One of the best times to swap them is known as the downbeat, which naturally falls after 4 beats. But there are also coloured markers called pickups, which vary depending on the song and provide additional points at which to drop in the new track elements. A small timeline is shown when hovering over your tracks, and a full one above your 4 mixers to help with the timings. So once you've nailed the basics, it's time for you to face your first real crowd and learn how to keep them happy whilst following instructions from your promoter or DJ. These appear in the bottom left corner, and you usually have a limited time frame in which to complete them, and these start off with simple track swaps, but over time they slowly implement all of the game's mechanics as you learn them. Now above the instructions you have the crowd bar, which increases or decreases based on your performance, completing objectives, dropping tracks on downbeats or pickups, and basically ensuring the music doesn't become too repetitive by frequently switching out track elements, all have a positive effect on the crowd's disposition towards you, whilst failing objectives or dropping track elements at random points will negatively impact on it. As you complete objectives, you'll also get requests from the crowd for specific artists, genres or years, and fulfilling them will give you bonus points and add to your crowd meter. Now you can usually piece together a decent sounding mix, but in order to create the perfect jam, you're going to want to ensure you've got the right tracks for the job. So prior to beginning a stage, you get to fill your crate with songs. In campaign mode, there's usually some pre-selected tracks which can't be changed, but you're free to build your own track set from the other songs available. I was actually really surprised at how many licensed tracks were available and the variety of genres on offer. You'll find big dance, rock and pop hits from the likes of The Weeknd, Coldplay, The Killers and Deadmau5, as well as all-time classics like Salt and Pepper's Push It or Never Gonna Give You Up by the legendary Rick Astley. And you also have plenty of hip-hop, R&B and Latino tracks from many other well-known artists in those genres. All of this variety though definitely comes at a bit of a price, as reflected by the cost of the game. Now I think what most impressed me about the game though was how easy it was to mix these different tracks and genres and still come up with something that doesn't sound half bad. Sure, you can create some monstrosities, but who would have thought a mixture of The Killers, Deadmau5, Ozone and Rick Astley would actually sound decent? So getting back to the game's campaign mode, new game mechanics are taught to you and they unlock as you progress through it, and you first learn simple stuff like ejecting discs, reducing the volume or muting them, and then learn how to double up on drums and other elements. You also learn how to create your own elements using a ton of different music pads, which you're able to create loops with and then drop them into any of your disc slots. When you get to the third or fourth sets, you then unlock the ability to change track tempos and keys, queue up and drop multiple track elements down into your mix at once, and add filters to each of your track elements, including low and high pass filters, flanges and stutter effects. As with music tracks, the game features an impressive variety of filters, effects and music pads, meaning that when it comes to producing an amazing mix, the only limitation is your own creativity. So to complete campaign stages, you simply need to follow the instructions whilst keeping your crowd happy. If the crowd meter falls below 0, then you fail the stage and have to start again, but if you're really struggling, there's a no fail toggle which can be turned on. I personally didn't find this necessary though, as after a couple of attempts you should have no problem beating stages. Now upon completion of a stage, your score is then displayed and you're ranked out of 5 stars based on your performance, with 3 and 5 star rankings awarding you with additional clothing unlocks. You'll also earn XP for your character, eventually leveling you up, which rewards you with track and character tokens, which can then be used to unlock additional music tracks, colour palettes for your clothing, or additional features for you to create your perfect stage with. Completing a full set of levels in career mode also unlocks new tracks for you to purchase, a bunch of new clothing items, and allows you to move on to the next set. So as well as the campaign mode, the game's other modes include a single player freestyle mode, which essentially allows you to play around with all the game's features, mixing different tracks together without the fear of a crowd. And then there are several online modes. The first of these is co-op freestyle, which allows 2 players to go head to head in freestyle mode. Each player gets a turn to create a freestyle mix, and this mode allows spectators to react to the mix and submit requests to players, which earns them bonus points if fulfilled. Each player's mix lasts around 30 seconds, and at the end of it all, a winner is decided and XP is awarded. Next we have battle mode, which is a little tricky to explain, but I'll give it a go. Basically, 2 players go head to head, creating mixes at the same time. Each track element that you drop into the mix is initially given 1 point, plus bonus points based on how well it was placed, indicated by the timing bonuses to the left. As the battle progresses, objectives also appear below the timing bonuses, and fulfilling them whilst dropping tracks also earns you bonus points on top of your timing bonus. Now each of your track elements are continuously pitted against your opponents, and after a short time period, the disc with the most points ejects the opposing player's disc and reduces the health bar seen at the top of the screen, and reducing your opponent's health bar to 0 wins you the game. Now it does sound a bit complicated, but it's actually not too bad when you get the hang of it and turns out to be a lot of fun. Battles come in both ranked and casual modes, and beating players improves your rank, unlocking new clothing. I expect battle mode will be a time-based seasonal thing when the game releases, and a ton of fun providing there's a decent player base for the game. So the final online feature is the social panel. This has an events page in it where competitions are held, requiring players to create and submit short mixes based around specific track criteria. Other players can then vote on the submissions, and customization rewards are given to the highest voted submissions. You can also find a mixes tab in this menu, which allows you to share your mixes and watch other people's, which is a pretty awesome feature, and I expect there'll be some fantastic mixes in here once players become familiar with all the game's features. So in all, I actually had a really good time playing Fuser. I didn't really know what to expect when I first started playing, but once I got through the first few stages, I really started to enjoy myself. There's some great depth to Fuser's gameplay and mechanics, some good progression with its difficulty, and campaign modes are a lot of fun without being overly challenging. The online battle modes are also good fun, and after completing the campaign, this is no doubt where most of your time will be spent. I played quite a few games against Switch Corner, and I couldn't help but laugh at some of the high BPM atrocities we were both creating in co-op freestyle mode. Audio wise, the game is fantastic. Every track is of high quality and sounds crystal clear, and not only do you have over 100 tracks in the base game, there are also another 25 more available for free in the Fuser launch DLC pack, and no doubt there'll be a ton more releasing, though I would expect them to come at a price. When it comes to the visuals, you can expect something similar to Guitar Hero. Cutscenes in the game look fine, though they were a little dark at times, and I like the variation in stage designs, especially when playing sets at night. The ability to create and customise your own stage was a nice addition, and I liked the character customisation options, though I did experience frequent issues with textures not changing from low to high resolution versions, but this was not game breaking and it'll likely be fixed in no time. I think my only real complaint about Fuser would be the lack of any local multiplayer for the game. The Guitar Hero games were well known for the countless hours of fun they provided with their offline 4-player modes, so let's hope we get a decent online community to keep the game alive, long after the career mode credits have rolled. So now let's get on to rating Fuser. Now I rate games between 1 and 5 stars, with a shovelware stamp of approval reserved for the worst games on the eShop. This rating is based on my own personal opinion on the quality and quantity of the title's gameplay, and whether I feel it offers value for money to potential buyers. For a rating, I'd give Fuser 4 out of 5 stars. If you like musical rhythm games, or have ever fancied yourself a DJ but have no musical aptitude or just can't afford the real gear, then I highly recommend giving Fuser a go. It comes at a premium price tag, but I for one had a great time playing, and I'd say it's definitely worth the price for fans of these type of games. Fuser releases on the 10th of November, and you can get it from the UK Switch eShop for £59.99, or from the US eShop for $59.99. Alternatively, the game's also available on PlayStation 4, Xbox One and Steam. And that's it for this review of Fuser. Hit that like button if it helped you out, and let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game and this review in the comments section below. As always, I want to thank my patrons for going above and beyond for the channel, and if you're interested in becoming a patron, you can find a link to my Patreon page in this video's description. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Nintendo Switch reviews and content, and join the Starseekers Discord server to become part of its growing community. For now though, I just want to thank you all once again for watching, and until next time, take care and game on.